This is the transformer core, this is the primary side winding, and this is the secondary winding. Now what we are going to do, we are going to connect one AC source, that is the voltage source, AC voltage source, because we need the alternating flux. To produce the EMF we need a alternating flux, and if in that side if there is some load, we don't know what is the load, means what kind of load it is, so that's why we are keep this load in a box, that is a load box. We don't know whatever the load, may be inductive, may be capacitive, or may be resistive. So here the supply is V input and we are getting the V output over here. Now in where the EMF is induced, the EMF is induced in the this primary winding, that is the, you can write it as E1, and also there is a induced EMF in the secondary side, that is called the E2. So EMF is induced in the primary side coil and the secondary side coil. And why the EMF is induced? The EMF is induced by, which means the EMF is got induced. The EMF got induced, I can write it down, EMF got induced because of what? Mutual inductance. This is the most important keyword, inductance. What is the principle of operation of a transformer? That is it is operated in a mutual inductance. And what is the law which it associate with it? That is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetics as well as the Lenz law, because Lenz law will provide you the direction of the induced EMF. Okay, so here we are so we are going to operate this transformer in a supply voltage, that is a VI, and which is a alternating in nature, because we want to, for that VI, if the current is IP, primary side current, and as this voltage is AC current, so current AC voltage, so the current induced in the coil is the what? It is a alternating in nature, and as the current is alternating in nature, then the phi produced inside the coil is in a alternating in nature. Okay, we want some alternating phi. Okay, phi, because phi is equal to V into A, that is the magnetic field into the area of the cross section. So we can say that as the current is alternating in nature, that's why the flux is also in the alternating in nature. And if you draw the flux, the curve of the flux, if this is phi and this is the omega t, then the waveform is obviously like a alternating in nature, as the current is alternating. So this is the peak value of the phi, that is, you can say it as a phi m, the phi max. Okay, this is starts from 0, then this is pi, and this is 2 pi. This is the graph for phi. So if the phi is alternating in nature, then what is the equation of the phi? If the magnitude or amplitude of the phi is phi m, so phi become phi m sine omega t. This is the phase of the phi. Okay, omega t. Okay, now by Faraday's laws of electromagnetics, if we apply the Faraday's laws of electromagnetics, then what is the induced EMF? If induced EMF is E, how did you get the induced EMF in a coil? By changing the flux. That is, if the flux produced across the coil is alternating in nature, then there is some EMF induced across the coil, and if the coil is closed loop, makes a closed loop, then it we get some current over there. So E become N d phi by dt. Phi is the flux, that is the alternating flux in nature. D phi by dt means it is a time dependent variable. So where n is what? N is number of, তোরা সব শুনতে পাচ্ছিস তো? শুনতে পাচ্ছিস? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Number of turns. Okay. So you get this, it is nothing but a magnitude of the induced EMF. Now we want the direction also. So how could you calculate the direction? The direction, for determining the direction, we have to apply another law, which is called the Lenz law, by which we can find the direction of the induced EMF. So induced EMF E become minus n, it become minus n d phi by dt. That minus is denoting that the effect and the cause are in the opposite side. Okay, so EMF is induced, that is the, you have to apply some alternating current. If the current is alternating, then due to that flux phi is also induced, as it is also alternating in nature. And if there is an alternating flux, then the EMF is induced, and the direction of the current and the EMF, that is the cause and the effect, are the opposite side. So now we have to find out the EMF equation for primary side. EMF equation for primary side. So we know that if it is E1, you can take it as E1 or E1 or E1, whatever it is, you can denote anything. So we can denote it by E1 is equal to minus N1 if the number of turns in the primary side is N1 and the number of turns in the secondary side is N2. So it becomes minus N1 d phi by dt. So we can replace this phi by phi m sin omega t, as phi is the alternating in nature. So we can write it as minus N1 d dt of what? Phi m sin omega t, as phi is alternating in nature. So it becomes minus N1 is a minus N1 into phi m, integration of derivative of cos of sin omega t is cos omega t, and as there is a omega is extra, so you can multiply it with omega. So we can write this thing as what? So we have to, so this is, you can write the E as minus N1 into phi m cos omega t into omega, we can write it. But as the current or the applied voltage is alternating in nature, and as it is a sine function, phi is a sine function, so it will be look nice if we express this E1 in the form of sine. So we can write it. So we know that minus of cos theta is what? Minus of cos theta is equal to sine theta minus 90 degree. Okay, here theta is what? Theta is nothing but the omega t. Okay, so we can write it N1 not Ni, N1 phi m minus cos omega t, and take omega, this omega taking with this omega outside, so and this minus taking this minus inside, so this becomes minus cos omega t. Here theta is nothing but the omega t. So we can write it as N1 phi m omega into sine omega t minus 90 degree. Minus 90 degree. So this omega, we can say this omega as 2 pi f. So this become, so এখানে লিখছি, so E1 become, this is the phi m, omega become 2 pi f frequency, then n1, then sine omega t minus 90 degree. Here you should give this bracket over here, this becomes sin omega t minus 90. This is the EMF equation for the induced EMF in the primary side coil. So this become a big expression. So what is the generalized equation for induced EMF? So you can write E, there is a generalized equation for E becomes equation for EMF, E is equal to E m1 sine omega t plus psi, you can write omega t plus theta, you can write omega t plus phi, whatever it is, that should be some Greek letter. So EM1 is what? That is the induced EMF in the primary side. That is the magnitude of the induced EMF in the primary side. So if we compare these two equations, then EM1 is what? This is equation 1 and this is general equation, that is the 2. So comparing 1 and 2, we get what? EM1 is equal to 2 pi f ni into phi m, 2 pi f n1 into phi m, is it? This becomes this, and the rest of the term is same, and psi, that is the psi, the phase difference become minus 90 degree. The phase difference, this is the plus psi, so psi becomes minus 90 degree. That is the phase difference of the EMF along with the phi. These denotes, this psi is equal to minus 90 degree denotes the phase difference between the phi and the induced EMF in the primary side or the secondary side. I am telling you why I am going to tell you the primary and secondary side. So can I change this page? Change korbo page ta?
Yes, sir.
So second I am writing EM1 is what? 2 pi f phi m into n1, and the same thing will repeat in the secondary side. So the secondary side equation become EM2 is the induced EMF due to the mutual inductance, that is the and the it denotes the maximum or the peak value become 2 pi f phi m into n2. So whatever the induced EMF, that depends upon the number of turns present in the primary side as well as the secondary side. Now what was the generalized equation? E is equal to em1 sin omega t plus phi. E is equal to E कहाँ गया? E is equal to general equation was E equals to em1 no, not em1, this is the em sin omega t plus sigma. Okay, so this is what? This is the amplitude. This is the amplitude. Okay, so all the supply in which we are dealing with are the RMS value, and EM is the maximum value of the induced EMF. So if the graph, if you plot the graph for EM, but there is the induced EMF, so it becomes a sinusoid in nature. You can, because we convert it into this is the E versus omega t. So it is also a sinusoid in nature, and this is nothing but the EM, that is the maximum value. And but if this is the maximum value EM, then we should convert it into the RMS value, because whatever you are applying and whatever you are getting is all in the form of the RMS value. So RMS value of induced EMF is what? RMS value of induced EMF become EM by root 2. EM by root 2 gives you the, that is peak value divided by root 2 gives you the RMS value, that is the 0.707 of the peak, that is the 0.707% of the peak value. RMS is equal to, okay. So what will be the then for if it is primary side, then EM1, this is the general equation is EM by root 2. So if we consider the primary side, it become EM1 by root 2, and if you consider the secondary side, then it become EM2 by root 2, but the general form is EM by root 2. So EM1 by root 2 becomes, so 2 pi f sigma phi m into n1 by root 2. So here this part is a constant part. So 2 pi by root 2, we can calculate 2 pi by root 2 is nothing but the 4. If we calculate this value, it become 4.44. So we can write it as 4.44 f phi m into n1. This is the EMF equation for the primary side. What kind of EMF equation? The RMS value of the induced EMF in the primary side. So as this is a transformer, so EM1 become, that is the maximum magnitude become 2 pi f ni into phi m, but the RMS value become 4.44 into f into phi m into n1. According to that, the RMS value of the secondary side become, EMF value of the secondary side become 4.44 into phi f into phi m into n2. So you see that all these two are nothing but the factor of the turn, number of turn. As the number of turn increases, then the induced EMF is increases. So depending upon the number of turns, we can find the we can find the whether the transformer is the step up or step down. So another thing is the psi. What was the psi? Psi become the minus 90 degree. That is lagging. So it means that if you write down, so considering phi as minus 90 degree, if you want to write the statement of phi and E, what will be the statement? The statement become very important statement, because this is the base of your draw the phasor diagram of the transformer. Before that we will study the single phase transformer on no load condition. We have to draw the phasor diagram for single phase transformer no load condition. Then we have to we have to go through the equivalent circuit of the transformer. Then we can write down, we can draw the phasor diagram. So for this, as E RMS is equal to 4.445 FM n to n1 and E to m2 by root 2, that is the E RMS in the secondary side, become 4.44 phi f phi mf into n2, and as we get the sigma psi as minus 90 degree, so we can write E1 and E2 lags flux by 90 degree. Okay, that is, here this psi becomes 90, means this psi becomes 90, means E1 is becomes minus 90 degree over here. So E1 become lagging in nature with phi by 90 degree. So if we draw the phasor diagram, so taking the phi, if you take the phi as in the x direction, then as E1 and E2 are, so if this is E1, then this becomes E2, that this becomes E2. And again, if you take the phi over here, and if this becomes E1, then it become, this become E2. Why I draw, and all the E1 and E2 in the both two cases, they are E1 and E2 lags by 90 degree for both the cases. You see over here that E1 and E2 both the cases, the lag by 90 degree from the phi, if you consider the phi as a reference phasor. Or you can draw the E1 and E2 over here. If it is E1, this is E2, then the phi becomes here, this is the phi. In this case also, phi leads by 90 degree from E1 and E2. So why I should write draw these two phasor diagram? This is for which transformer, what kind of transformer is this, and what kind of transformer is this? Can you tell me? So here you see that induced EMF in the secondary side. So this length, the length of this phasor gives you the magnitude, and that arrowhead gives you the direction. So here you see that E2 is greater than E1, as the length of the E2 is greater than E1. It means that the secondary side induced EMF is much more higher than the induced EMF at the primary side, and from there you can make one conclusion that this is a step up transformer, as the secondary side current induced EMF is higher than the primary side. And if you consider this one, you can say that E1 is greater than E2. E1 is greater than E2. So you can say that this is a step down transformer, as induced EMF in the secondary side is much more lesser than the primary side. Primary side. So can you tell me that what kind of transformer which you have seen in your colony or in your area? What kind of transformer is that there?
Step down.
Good, step down transformer, because the supply, that is the generation, is high and there is some distribution, and our household circuit, it can, the every appliances can controller can operate within the 220 or 230 volts. So 440 volt or much more higher than the amount of voltage is coming from the supply side, and we are make it step down and fed to our house. So we can say another thing, that is the, if phi m is nothing but the Bm into AC A1, that is the conductor, area of the conductor of the primary side, and so if we consider this, that is the phi is equal to B into, as a flux, is the B, is there any mistake I have done? This is B dot N, I think, na? B dot A. So as the phi m become B dot A1, so we can replace this phi m by this. So then U1 become what? U1 become 4.44 into N1 into F into Bm into A1, and E2 becomes 4.44 into F Bm into A2. These two are the in the form of the area of the coil. Now if you divide E1 by E2 or E2 by E1, if you divide E2 by E1, then you get N2 by N1. Okay, so or you can write E2, so or E1 by N1 is equal to E2 by N2. Sorry, I have make a mistake. E2 by E1 become N1 by N2. N1 by N2. So here E1 by N1 becomes E2 by N2. Okay. So this is what and this is what? These are nothing but they are called EMF per turn. That is the, if n is equal to 1, then the induced EMF is 4.44 into phi m into F into N1 is 1, and if N2 is 10, then according to that induced EMF is there. So this is the, from this equation we can find out the EMF, how much EMF is induced for the per turn, and the unit is volt per turn is the unit. And if it is N1, or you can write N1 by E1 is equal to N2 by E2. What is that? Turns per volt. So that is the, for per volt, for 1 degree, 1 volt of voltage, the number of turn become how much? Okay. So if we are going to get some voltage, and according to that how much volt, how much turn we have to give to a transformer, that you can calculate by N1 by E1 is equal to N2 by E2. That is the turn per volt, and the previous one the volt per turn. Okay. So this is the basic of the EMF equation of a transformer. Now we can we can solve a numericals, small numerical. Just wait. বুঝতে পেরেছিস? বুঝতে পেরেছিস?
Yes, sir.
কোনো কনফিউশন নাই তো? Question: EMF per turn for a single phase 2310 by 220 volt 50 hertz. TF means the transformer is approximately 13 volt. Is the for part turn we are getting the 13, that is the EMF induced is the 13 volt. Calculate the number of P and primary and S turns. Okay, so shall we calculate it? Very easy one. So here E1 by N1, because volt per turn is given, E1 by A1, N1 is equal to E2 by N2 is equal to 13 volt is given, and E1 is what? E1 is 2310 volt, and E2 is what? 220 volt. This is the primary side induced EMF and this is the secondary side induced EMF. So you can say that E1 by N1 is equal to 13. So 2310 by 13 will give you the N1, and 220 by 13 will give you the N2. These are the number of turn in the primary side and the secondary side. বুঝতে পেরেছিস?
Yes, sir.
Okay, another question we can solve. There is a transformer. A transformer has 1000 primary turns, P turns, and 100 S turns, secondary turns. The cross sectional area of the core is 6 square centimeter, a small transformer, and maximum flux density become while operate in 1 Tesla. Calculate turn per volt, that is the N1 by E1 and N2 by E2 for P and S. So this is how we can solve it. So here N1 is given, this is the 100 turn, 1000 turn, and N2 is given, that is the 100 turn. Okay, A is the 6 centimeter square. We can write it as 6 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Okay, Bm is given, the maximum flux density become 1 Tesla. So as it is Tesla, so you can convert the centimeter square into the meter square. Okay, so what is the E1? 4.44 into N1 into F into Bm into AI, that is nothing but the 4.44 into N1 is 1000, F is frequency is 50 hertz given, Bm is 1 Tesla, and the A is the 6 into 10 to the power minus 4. So according to that you can calculate E2. So E2 become 4.44 into N2 F Bm into A1 AI, 4.44 into 100 into 50 into 1 into 6 into 10 to the power minus 4. So we have to calculate N1 by E1, because we can calculate the turn per volt. N1 denotes the turn, so and E1 denotes the EMF or induced EMF or voltage. So it becomes, so here all are the same except 100. So it becomes N1 is 1000 by, so E1 becomes, if you calculate it, it becomes 133.2 volt. So 133.2, so it is almost 7.5, and N2 by E2 becomes, N2 is 100 by, it becomes 13.32, because here only difference is, this is 100,000, this is 100, 13.32, it is also 7.5. So then the number of turn per volt become 7.5. Okay, so the number of turns per volt per turn of primary and secondary side are here same. তাহলে আজকে এই পর্যন্ত থাক, আবার নেক্সট ভিডিওতে কথা হচ্ছে কি নিয়ে, প্রাইমারি সিঙ্গেল ফেজ ট্রান্সফরমার, নো লোড কন্ডিশনের ফেজার ডায়াগ্রাম অ্যান্ড দ্য ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট সার্কিট অফ দ্য ট্রান্সফরমার। তাহলে আজকে কি করব, প্রীতম আর কি নাম মেয়েটা সাহা, দুজনে আমাকে অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা দিয়ে দিবি, ঠিক আছে? কারো কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে?